All right, Pisces, welcome to your Wheel of the Year 2020 guide to planetary retrogrades. I'm going to be going over the 8 turns of the pagan calendar. It's going to start with Yule 21st this year, and it's going to go all the way to Samhain, Halloween, next year, 2020. I'm going to be going through each turn of the year and all the retrograding planets that are going to be happening in between each turn of the year. So, going into last year, you had a strong message coming into this, coming in after Halloween of don't waste your money trying to present yourself as something that you're not, or in playing a role. And also a little bit of indecision and doubting whether other people are holding up their end of your agreements. So that's the energy that you were going into, coming out of when you're passing the Witch's New Year's that just passed. So going into Yule on the 21st, I see you coming into this with a lot of understanding and wisdom and clarifying judgment. So whatever indecision that you were worried about, you're crystal clear and you've gotten all the information you need to understand and make clear judgments and use your words wisely with people as you come into Yule. I'm seeing a balance, a harmony. You're trusting your guides and you're listening to them, and that's how you're able to gain this clarity that you were seeking there. Now, going from Yule to Imbolc on February 2nd, we have Uranus going direct on January 20th in Taurus. And this is going to be the acceptance of a lot of new changes that are coming. This is a global effect that's happening to everybody. The retrogrades are everybody's facing that energy. So it's been a lot of fighting change over the last couple of months. And now it's going to go into everybody's getting used to the new system. Everybody's getting used to everybody's new changes. A lot of us have been doing a lot of inner work and changing our personalities a lot. And that's thrown a lot of people for a loop. And a lot of people are starting to accept that that is now who you are, and it's not a front and it's not a role, it's who you are. So that's the energy that we're going to be going into Imbolc with on February 2nd. And I'm seeing with this, I'm seeing generosity, sharing your talents with others, helping others. Just a lot of people surrounding you that support you, and they're sharing their talents with you as well. I see this as a lot of exchanging, if not money or exchanging business ideas, but also just exchanging your talents with each other. With that, I see the only thing that can threaten you is if you get you can send out a frequency of lack by wanting to give more, feeling like you wish you had more so that you could give more. And that could be something that can kind of negate this energy if you're not mindful of it. People are grateful for what you have to give. So don't beat yourself up because you can't give more. You know, not everybody's telling you their problems so that you can fix them. Sometimes they're just venting. So don't allow someone venting to make you feel like you should be giving them something to help them when you're not in a position to do that. Don't let that anxiety build up on you. You guys love to give, so just be mindful. You can share your talents and everything, and you can share your time. You don't have to share anything that ends up being detrimental to you in any way. So going from February to Ostara, we have our first Mercury retrograde. And this is going to be really reorganizing your priorities and emotions that you're struggling to communicate. Now, this is going to play very well into this card. This is going to be you're not going to have it to give. And you're going to have those people around you that are so expectant of you giving because you always have, that they can get angry, and you can have breakdowns in communication over them thinking that you could give more than what you can. And that will be the energy that's surrounding everybody going into Ostara on March 20th. It's only 10 days after that retrograde, so we're still in the in the shadow phase energy by the time we come into Ostara on March 20th. But I see you cutting through the bullshit, you're cutting through the confusion, you got focus, and you're not letting anybody shake that. Because I see there will be people trying to shake that. There will be people that will still be trying to cut down your confidence a little bit just so they can feel better about themselves. And you're going to see through that and cut through that bullshit. All right? You don't let those people cut you down. Don't internalize their problems. Understand that anybody trying to cut you down is dealing with their own self-judgment and pain. That is just a reflection of how they feel about themselves, not actually how they feel about you. So going into Ostara, from Ostara to Beltane, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn. And it's going to feel like certain things are burning to the ground, especially around business-related things. These are going to be things that you thought were really efficient, and they're just going to kind of cause a lot of heartache and a lot of turmoil and just not being as efficient as you thought they would be. And it's the universe trying to tell you, I have a new efficient way of doing something if you just let me show you. Let me take this away so I can show you this new efficient way of doing it. Or I can show you how to figure out how to do this new efficient way. So that's going to be the energy going into May. And I see you still expressing yourself through art and beauty and love and the ability to do this, and you're going to be creating and gaining a lot of inspiration and creativity, and you're going to be creating a lot. I see this being, this is expressing words of love and creating beauty with words and emotions, and this is going to be physical reality, making things that inspire or being inspired to make things. Now going from Beltane to Midsummer, we have 4 retrogrades. We have Jupiter in Capricorn on May 14th. This is going to be a time to examine old philosophies, old traditions, the way things that aren't working anymore, where the traditional path that everybody told you to do it this way is not working for you, and you are going to have to reevaluate that plan and twist it and bend it and make it your own so that it works better for you, because the traditional way is not going to work anymore. And then we have Saturn going retrograde from Aquarius to Capricorn on May 11th. And I only see Saturn being a problem for anybody who was cutting corners. And you guys really aren't. You guys are really about getting your work done and stuff like that. You're very centered when it comes to that kind of stuff usually. Emotions, you guys are 2 fish. But when it comes to work and business and things that you need to get done, you're pretty good at getting them done. So as long as you've been doing the work you're supposed to be doing, you've not been cutting any corners around trying to hide any healing that you need to do or trying to get anybody else to do your work for you, Saturn is not going to bother you that much. Now, have you been expecting too much of other people or trying to cut corners around not doing inner healing work, that's where Saturn's going to bite you in the ass. Then we have Venus going retrograde in Pisces on May 13th to June 5th. So this is in between these two now. This is before I even flip the next card. This is that regular, Venus is close to us, so it retrogrades every year with us. Its temptations are high, willpowers will be weak. You will be tempted by things, and since you know this is when the temptation is going to come in, you can give yourself that boost of willpower not to be tempted into things that you're not supposed to. Not to be tempted by people, not to be tempted by addictions, not to be tempted by any of those things that you like to fill voids with, or tempted by other people. Then you've got Mercury going retrograde in Cancer on June 8th. So as soon as Venus comes out of retrograde, Mercury's going into retrograde. So that shadow phase is going to overlap. And this is all going to be about, do not get distracted by people from your past. They have come to distract you. They're the universe's way of seeing how bad you want something. If you really want it, you won't get distracted from it. So that's the big message for this summer going into it. By midsummer, why are you worrying about things you can't control? You cannot control other people. You cannot control their situations. You cannot control what they do with the energy that you give them. You can't control any of that. The only thing you can control is your own response to situations. So if you do feel the need to pull back and isolate yourself because all this worry for other people is starting to be too much for you, you need to pull back, and you just really need to just do inner work. Just think about why these outside situations are making you feel this way. And then that way you can process them and you can let them go and you can find the understanding you need as to why they bother you so much, so that they won't bother you anymore in the future, so that you can end this cycle with whatever that person is or whatever that thing is that keeps cycling around during these retrogrades for you. You don't work on yourself, because there's going to be some information that you're missing to gain total understanding of the situations that you're going to be stressing. You're not going to have all the information, because that is coming. Right after this, going from midsummer to Lunasa on August 1st, so going from the end of June to the beginning of August, you have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces, and this is the shattering of illusions. This is shattering for you, especially because it's in Pisces, of self-illusions. So this is things that maybe you thought you were, that you're realizing that wasn't really you anymore, or you're realizing you've been putting on a front with somebody for so long that now they expect this weird, they expect things of you, and you're like, that's not even me anymore. Like, I don't understand how I got stuck in that cycle. And this is going to be a lot of shattering illusions. This is also going to be a lot of people, if you're in this isolating mode and you've decided that you're not going to, you're going to cut through the bullshit and you're not going to fall into that cycle anymore. This is where people are going to get angry with you. This is where they're going to show you their true colors. When somebody shows you their true shadow aspect and what they are truly capable of, be mindful and take notes and listen to them. That initial dark shadow response, that's really something in them that they are capable of. That sorry and the apology and all the blah 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 that comes up afterwards, trying to put a band-aid over it, doesn't negate the fact of the things that they did. So let that illusion shatter. Don't sit there and try to glue it back together. They showed you who they were. Now start working with them in the perspective now of knowing who they are and knowing who you are. So going into Lunasa on August 1st, boom. I see expansive, life-affirming energy, creativity. I see this as a lot of creativity or inspired by children. Maybe because if you're in the area of making things, maybe it's making things for children or working with children or something that is inspired, that has that energy, that life-affirming energy that children bring. And you're going to gain that understanding. You're going to gain that clarity that is self-empowering to you. So I see that Neptune in Pisces retrograde being something that's going to bring you a lot of clarity to yourself. And then when you're done receiving that clarity of self, that's when you're going to, boom, explode with this energy of life-affirming energy here and self-love here at the end of summer. Now going from Lunasa on August 1st to September 22nd, we got Mars going retrograde in Aries. And that's all going to be about this rush, battle through energy. You're going to see something, you're going to want to go for it, you're going to take off running. Whatever this is that's going to inspire you, you're going to want to just, bam, just set it out and just start pumping it out, or whatever it is, start doing one of the things to get to where you want to go, and you're going to try to get there as fast as you can. And you're going to try to battle anything that stops you. And you're not going to watch your feet, and you're going to trip over them, and you're going to bust your face on the ground. And then once that happens, now you have all those repercussions that you're going to have to get through. So if you could be mindful that that's the energy that's going to be pressing down on you, going from this energy to September, that's going to be pressing down on you. Watch your feet. Cross your T's, dot your I's, cover your details, take your time, plant one foot firmly in front of the other, and be mindful of your surroundings so that you don't have an accident, so you can avoid those things. So when you trip, you catch yourself, you don't fall over and hurt yourself. Now going into September 22nd for Mad Boon, here you go. If you can manage to keep your footing, I see more expansion of business messages, new ideas, new business opportunities. These are the things, new collaborations, new information traveling back and forth about how to create more abundance and prosperity in your life. And with that, you also will be quick thinking and have a good perspective, because you're going to take your time to see everything and see all the details and follow that. Don't mind my dogs, the Amazon elves must be here. So this is all about gaining new perspective. Oh my goodness, they cannot stand the Amazon trucks. All right, so going from September 22nd to Samhain, November 1st, or October 31st, Halloween, however you want to celebrate it. We have our final third Mercury retrograde. Now this is going to be going from Scorpio to Libra and back again. So this is going to be this hard, gooey, or this hard outer shell control, protecting your emotions with a stinger, into a very vocal energy where you want to express your feelings and you don't know why you can't stop expressing them, back into the hard shell energy. Understand that everybody's feeling this. So everybody's going to be defensive over their emotions during this time. So as long as you're mindful that's what everybody's doing and that's what you may be prone to do, you can navigate those situations with a little bit more ease and flow through them a little bit better. Don't bottle anything up. Mind your words when you hit the vocalization part, and then when it starts to where you start to feel defensive, be mindful that everybody feels defensive. And when there's a frequency of defensiveness around, the universe will give you stuff to fight about. So just be aware of where your mind is all the time, and be aware of your words, and just know that that's what's happening to everybody, and don't take anything too much to heart. You guys can do that. But you guys can also have the ability of getting over that. So from Samhain, or from September 22nd on Maboon to Samhain, we have got a sacrifice in order to grow. And with this card over this, and this is the Queen of Cups energy again. So this is a sacrifice made out of love that you're making. Something that you're letting go of in order to grow more and nurture-wise, to grow more in the feminine energy. So this is a sacrifice out of love. All sacrifices are difficult, but I see this one being really out of love and something that you will be divinely guided by your feminine energy to do, and it will give you a lot of strength once you do it. Okay, and then directly after this sacrifice that you make, November 4th, Mars goes direct in Aries. Now your feet are stepping firmly in front of you. You feel like you can climb that mountain easily now because you've been taking your time and practicing your steps. And now you're ready to go ahead and climb that mountain, and you're gaining footing and you're gaining confidence. And this is, the Mars energy is not so much confrontational. It's assertive, but it's not aggressive. And that's an important distinction to make when you're speaking with people, is you have to know the balance between being assertive in your healthy boundaries and being aggressive about defending yourself. All right? So that is your 8 turns of the year. And for your oracle card, for when things get heavy and when your water is shaky, this is all about finding stillness. This is about fighting that hurry up and rush syndrome that we have been programmed to grind and go as fast as we can since we were little. It's hurry up and learn this so you can take this test. Hurry up, pass the first grade, now pass the second grade, so on and so forth. This is that hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry from this class, hurry to that class, hurry to work, hurry home. This is all about dropping that hurry up syndrome and seeking stillness. Whenever I get this card, I think of a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's, I am as sturdy as a mountain, I am as calm as its waters. Don't let others drowning flip your boat. Whenever you feel like everyone around you is oppressing you, and that's what this whole Nine of Swords is about. This is all about worrying about and all this stuff, and it's nothing that you can do anything about, so that's what's causing the anxiety. So when you find yourself in the anxiety-prone phases during the big retrograding season over here, or even during here when it's really emotional for you, it is, I am sturdy as a mountain. I am as sturdy as a mountain. I am as calm as its waters. You cannot see what the universe is trying to reflect to you if the water is turbulent. As soon as you calm it, the reflection becomes clear. You can see the fish and the life beneath the water, and you can see a lot more. Okay? Alright, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this. If this helped you out, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll leave a link in the Facebook group, or for our Facebook group, the Coven, the Silver Cord, below. We do cards and coffees. We do daily affirmations. You can find more awesome things, like where to find things like my cool jewelry. And that is, this is from Elsa's Enchantments by Elsa. I always say it backwards because I'm dyslexic. But, this is by Enchantments by Elsa, and you can find more of these and similar jewelry in her Etsy store. And I will talk to y'all later.